Good,
Share my
good.
screen. Great. Can everyone see my screen? Beautiful. Awesome. I'll get started. So, hi everyone. Obviously, thank you, Hashkey, for having me and having all of us. I really appreciate being on this demo day. Talking today about a product we're building called Xion. Xion is the first modular layer one blockchain with generalized abstraction. What does that mean? Effectively, it means we're abstracting away all the crypto complexities to make a seamless user experience for everyday users. Right now, we are in a live testnet with 350,000 wallets, over a million transactions processed, and an ecosystem that's growing extremely fast, already outpaced the 75 number for making this slide. Um, the burnt origins are actually come about 2.5 years ago, where I bought a Banksy art piece, and the goal was to bring crypto to retail, in any way possible. And so we took this Banksy art piece, we ended up lighting it on fire, and we sold the NFT on OpenSea, and this got pretty large, kind of global coverage from, I like to say, Shanghai to San Francisco, being covered by CBS, the New Yorker, GQ, and kind of everywhere around for our digital representation of this work. From there, we kind of really wanted to continue with the goal, right? We wanted to continue bringing crypto to retail in any way possible. But we realized there were a lot of problems and we needed to tackle them before we could even do that. And so we ended up raising $11 million from top tier investors, such as, obviously Hashkey here, Animoca, Multicoin, Mechanism, I'm not going to read the whole list. But really, crypto right now, there's many problems, right? There's terrible UX, onboarding is a nightmare. There's so much jargon for people to learn, extremely steep learning curves, insane barriers to entry, mega complexity, it's lengthy, and it's just unfamiliar to people, which just overall leads to crypto having a fundamental adoption issue, right? And the way that we solve it here is by building, as we kind of mentioned, Xion and our generalized abstraction. So kind of taking this one by one, the way that generalized abstraction is kind of working for us is, you've probably heard of account abstraction before, but the idea that we're having is having an account abstraction on a protocol level, and we're one of the first to have this generalized abstraction on a protocol level. But aside from just simply, abstracting away accounts, signatures are also something that we abstract as well. So you can use a MetaMask, you can sign on an EVM, you can sign with Solana, or we could even use Apple's signature scheme and sign with Face ID. Additionally, we also abstract interoperability. We work with a lot of partners, which I'll kind of get into later. And the goal for the end user is to really never know that you're really interacting with a crypto product. With that being said, gas is another thing. We think that's one of those things that is just adding to the fundamental issues of crypto. People needing to learn about gas, need to learn about gas tokens and understand this kind of unfamiliar concept. In addition to how many different payment methods there are, right? On a base layer, Xion interacts with just pure debit and credit cards throughout the entire chain. In addition, pricing, and I'll go into how we work with Circle and abstracting all pricing out as well. And then also devices. Since we are everything is with a smart contract address, we don't necessarily need a browser extension to protect private keys. So what I'm going to show in this next slide is kind of this demo of everything working together, and a few pieces of these kind of coming in tangent. What you'll really notice is that, it's going to look very simple. It's going to look very, very bland, frankly. But the idea we really want to show is just, if you were an untrained eye, you wouldn't even realize that you're interacting with a crypto product. And so, kind of going to the next slide here. Here's a very good example, right? Someone can connect with a MetaMask or a Kepler, because we are signature agnostic. In this case, someone's using a JWT, which is just email sign-in, right? And so effectively what we do here is, you enter your email and we give you, we email you a code, and then boom, your smart contract account has already been created. You don't really need to know anything about it. And so for this small little demo, the interaction functionality here is what it looks like when you're purchasing an asset on chain. The user here, Val, is just entering their credit card information and very quickly buying it. And we'll kind of look towards the end of this of just how everything is working on chain. But at the end of the day, if you didn't know this was crypto, you wouldn't need to know it's crypto. And this is a lot of the functionality that we're looking for in Xion, and we believe will be that next push to the next generation of users is not necessarily ensuring that they need to know this language or need to know the terminology, but just being able to use products on a day-to-day basis. And we're already well on our way. As you kind of saw, the last product was, really powered by checkout.com and Stripe. We've been working with them for almost a year now, just trying to getting, the kind of on-chain credit card and debit card effectively, processing through. We had a very big partnership with Circle about a month ago, which effectively is how we denominate everything in dollars, denominate everything in USDC, which further allows us to expand our ecosystem and make it not confusing for normal people. Of course, we have some native deployments such as Exodus, the Go Marketplace, Space ID. These things I'm sure some of you heard of. It's supported a lot by Animoca brands and the portfolio we work with there. But additionally, not negating the Web3 community, right? And having, Osmosis and Injective really, and Pith for price oracles, really helping out on the back end just to ensure that the users don't need to know what's going on. They just need to know what they want to do, right? In addition to, we're based in New York. Sunday Afternoon is a creative agency here that we've been working with very closely on being able to bring these retail products to life. But, as the slide mentions, this is just the highlights. Right now the ecosystem is growing over 75, and this is being shown in our testnet right now with over 1 million transactions and over 350,000 wallets. Feel free to check out the ecosystem page on our website, but happy to dive into more as well. And our team hails from some of the top universities and some of the top companies in the industry. We have a combined, I don't even know the exact number, but a lot of years in the industry, coming from Flow and Ubisoft and Harvard. But of course, happy to go into that. Right now, we obviously, as I mentioned, are in our public testnet, and we are awaiting our final chain audits. Once we kind of wrap up these final chain audits, then comes the first generalized abstraction hackathon, which I do want to call the Abstractathon. I think that would be fun, which then, of course, leads to a Q1 token generation event. And once the token generation event kind of occurs, our main focus is this ecosystem and a focused continuation on scalability, which we've already been in talks with, kind of Hyperlane, et cetera, on kind of getting those done. The main goal at the end of the day is to become the AWS of Web3. What does this mean, right? At the end of the day, we want to be silent. We want to be in the background. We want to power a lot of the future generation of applications. And we don't believe that we need to effectively be in the forefront to do this. Very similar to how I'm on Zoom right now. And most people using Zoom don't need to know how it's hosted or what load balancing tools is being used. We believe the same thing will happen to crypto. And we do believe that crypto success moment will come when there's just applications, right? When Amazon wasn't an internet company and it was just a large company, it became successful. And we believe that the very same thing needs to happen with crypto. And we do believe that with generalized abstraction, this is the way to do that. We are able to remove almost every crypto jargon, barrier to entry that ever really existed, and able to provide users a very seamless experience. And there's that old statistic where when a user is prompted with a wallet, there's a 95% drop off, right? And there's no reason that we should be following the adoption curves of the internet when adoption curves of AI are so much faster. It's genuinely, upsetting to see from someone who's been in the industry for so long. And I think being able to solve these problems is extremely exciting. And so if you obviously kind of agree, please follow us, please read more. Burnt.com is our website, Xion.burnt.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're almost at 200,000 and we could really appreciate really getting that number. Obviously, join our Discord, join our guild. If you want to check out some of the things that we've built as well, we've built Exodus, read our docs. You could play a game that we've built called Burnt It Down, or check out our Explorer. And so happy to kind of end it here and take any